What if I told you that the secret to better mental health, environmental sustainability, and optimal nutrition could be found in your kitchen scraps, your daily laughter, and a handful of seeds? Today's guest has spent over two decades proving that simple solutions can address our most complex challenges. And she's here to share exactly how you can implement these practices in your own life. Today I have with me Cathy. You're the well-known worm lady of Bradford, West Gwillimbury. I understand you weren't always comfortable with. Can you take us back to the beginning and tell us how you were initially creeped out by worms and how you became the leading composting?
That's it, vermicomposting. That's it.
I emphasize that this is becoming a highly vying field right now. Homesteading's become a massive boom, essential, necessary for anybody doing homesteading, I believe. So it's great to have you on and just be able to discuss that. Can you tell us your journey?
Our landfill closed. It filled up, and we started to export our garbage to the US. And prior to that, so I'm from Toronto, and I bought my house in 93, and a teacher friend asked me to look after her worm bin. Buying a house, I was like, I couldn't wait to start gardening and composting. So I knew that part. I knew about the worm compost, but I didn't want to have worms in my house.
Fair.
Okay, so that's the first piece. We should do things for ourselves. Like, people are very quick to tell you, oh, whatever they don't like, oh, you won't like that too. Because they want to be in a club of non-likers.
Very fair.
Right? So I thought, this is gross. I don't want to have worms in my house, but I really want the black gold that the worms create.
Mm-hmm.
So I took on the challenge that summer, had worms in my basement, and it was awful. I was a fruit fly farmer. And at the end of that summer, I had put on big gloves. It took me an hour to separate everything. And I said, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
Haha. Never say never, Cody, because you never know.
Very fair.
I was getting my psych degree. It took me 15 years because I only went at night. Stay in school. The time goes by. And when I graduated in 2000, I got a job at a group home working with challenged adults. They had 10 homes and a farm, and they didn't compost. Mm-hmm. When you're an entrepreneur, you see things that other people don't see. And I could see food waste everywhere because it's a resource. For me, it's a resource. It's food for something else, for the worms or for the garden. It's plant food. But when we call it garbage, it is. That's what it is. And I spoke to management about composting. Why don't you compost? And they said, we don't need the fertilizer because we have cows. Huh. And I was like, what do the cows have to do with anything? Because here you are, you pay a lot to get rid of your food scraps specifically. Grocery stores, universities, hospitals spend a lot on waste management because they need to get rid of that rotting stuff that attracts rodents and flies and smells. So, and then the greenhouse manager, so they said they didn't need the fertilizer. And then the greenhouse manager said, what about vermicomposting? Cody, have you ever done something and you're all fired up? Oh, this is going to be so great. And then you try it and it's, okay, that wasn't what the brochure said. That's what happened. And then somebody says a few years later, hey, Cody, why don't we do that thing that you don't want to do anymore? So that's what happens. That's where we are. So I'm like, oh gosh, I got that feeling in my stomach. Not the worms again. But then I'm like, it's an institution. They're not getting worms anytime soon, right? They got to have meetings, decide if it's a good idea. Do they have the money? All the things.
Yeah.
And then say no.
Very fair.
So I came home that day and I started to do research and about the red wiggler worms, which is the optimum composting worm. And I learned it because it was on there already. Someone else discovered it. I learned that the red wiggler worm eats half its weight per day in food scraps. They turn garbage into gold. They have 5 hearts each. And my fear, which is just the unknown, right? You've probably heard that future evidence appearing real or something. Or,
yeah.
Right, for fear that it's just something we're not aware of, and that's why we're afraid. So that's what happened. I had this fear that was just gross. It was just a gross feeling about the worms. And it went from ew to wow, oh my gosh, these things are so cool and everyone needs them.
Yeah.
And then so that was fine. I set up a system at the group home, and then I got injured. I got injured at work. And you know, one of the things was I decided that I would never stay in a job that didn't serve me.
Mhm.
So now I'm stressed. This job isn't serving me anymore because I'm not effective because I'm injured. I came home from work. There was an ad in the paper, the little when we used to get little papers, and it said, "Are you a woman? Do you have a business idea?" And it was a business course, a 6-month course to write a business plan.
Mhm.
I turned to my husband. I said, "I'm quitting my job. I'm taking this course. I'm starting a worm business. Hallelujah! Won't that be fun?" And that's what happened. 2002, and in 2002, so our landfill closed. First thing.
Mhm.
Second thing was we had a garbage strike in Toronto
Yeah,
in the
I remember
summer.
that.
Right? No point in having it in the winter. Right? Everything's frozen, nothing smells, right? And like a few things happened in my life. So I had my business, I'm watching the news, and people were lining up for hours to drop off their garbage.
Mhm.
And I thought, those people don't compost. Because if you compost, it takes the stink out of garbage,
Mhm.
right? Your recyclables don't smell, your paper, whatever, that doesn't smell. And so you definitely wouldn't be lining up for hours to drop. Like we're busy people. And I went on a road trip. So before going on my road trip, I decided to send out press releases to the Toronto outlets.
Mhm.
And 5 minutes after sending my press release to the Toronto Star, a reporter called me and said, "Thank you for your press release about vermicomposting. I forgot about the apartment dwellers. Last week I wrote an article and I forgot about the apartment dwellers. When you're done at the transfer station, can you come on down to the Star? I'd like to interview you." Youpee! Mission accomplished. And that was an exercise all on its own. But I had my first article in the Toronto Star on July 18th, 2002. And I called up my husband. I'm like, "Yay, I got an article. Toronto's my market, right? Indoor,
Yeah.
it's for condos. It's if you don't have space for outdoor composting, this is for you, even if you don't want it. You need it."
Yes.
And I was super excited. And he was like, "I'm on my way home. I just got downsized." Like the same day? Come on. Like now, 23 years later, I'm like, couldn't he just got downsized tomorrow so I could celebrate my article in the Star? My 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And from there, I really chose media as my marketing strategy.
You really got in early, very early.
Right? And it was a challenge because people were afraid of worms and probably still are. Because if you were traumatized as a child after a rainy day or at school, somebody chased, or a fishing incident, the green goo, you might have been, "Oh, I hurt that poor," or whatever
Yeah.
happened. And so you're not looking to that as an adult. So I would have a table wherever I could in 2002. And I'm going to say have fun. I'm high energy. I flail my arms around when I talk. So I'm probably fun to watch. If you're at a show and there's mortgage broker beside you and real estate over there, like it's interesting but not compelling really.
Yeah.
I'm probably compelling to watch. And then it's like, no, there's a line. I'm not having worms in my house. So I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do what people need? But people don't buy what they need.
Hmm.
People buy what they want, even though they need it. Right? So that problem, lots of problems with my business model. And then I decided to take on school workshops. So over 100,000 students have seen my presentation, and it's beautiful. It's so wonderful watching the children who may have learned to be afraid of worms from their parents, because we're not born with that fear.
Yeah.
It's learned. I could see them, and maybe they, again, if you live in Toronto, it's concrete jungle, right? There's very little green space.
Yes.
So they literally may have never seen a worm. And it's scary. Wow, what is this thing? And our parents teach us to be afraid of all these things and to spray all the germs and to do all the things to have this sterile environment. And that's not what we need to live. We need to be exposed to these things. Anyway, so that's how I began. That was my path. And when I started school workshops, I was like, now I just have to wait 20 years for them to have buying power. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, you did it. Yeah, you really did. It's interesting how the world's changing beneath our very feet right now. The next 5 years are going to be completely revolutionary, and I think a lot of people are going more towards homesteading, doing their own foods, doing their own composting. there's a big boom in not just these composters, but now ones that break down your food as well in this soil that don't use worms. But obviously, worms are a better choice. Those devices are like $500 to $1,000 when you could just buy like a bucket of worms and have the same outcome.
Right, those are electric, so you're using electricity, and those are not composters. They call them composters. They are not. It's all marketing. Those are dehydrators.
Okay.
So they take the moisture out, but they're not adding any nutrient value. They're not adding any microbial activity. They're sterilizing it because when you use heat on your soil, it sterilizes it. So buyer beware. Yes, you're spending a lot of money. It's like, I don't know if you've seen those honey things. It's a beehive of some sort, and then there's a little tap at the bottom, and it shows the honey flowing out. It's like, no.
Yeah.
No, people, don't buy into that. Come on. But it looks cool.
It does look cool. That's the biggest thing, is it looks cool. I do have one question, though. In terms of, because it's so expensive, why aren't facilities composting on site instead of trucking?
That's a big question. So we got to look at the players. Who are the players? Waste management is a huge industry. Huge. And at one time it was run by somebody, but yeah. That's what people said. You need to be careful who you're taking business from. Because they might come after you, but I wasn't worried. Right? We need to look at the structure. Right? The municipalities are looking for a quick way to tidy this up. That the structure is already in place. And we're looking for convenience. Younger people, yes, are going into self-sufficiency, homesteading and getting off the grid and all the things. That it's going to take a while for that structure to take place.
Yeah.
And now they're talking about these 15-minute cities, which we need to run from because it's just part of the thing, without getting into any kind of conspiracy thing, because I really want to bring hope. And I don't want to just be us and them on this side. we're us. That's it. I think we're all here.
I agree, and I honestly think we're waking up to that reality of we're just all the same. We're just looking for the same things. We just need people off our backs to actually go and build these things. I focus very much on sustainability in terms of building. So when I'm promoting, I want to build an aquaponics grocery store that's self-sustaining.
Ooh, love it.
It would become 100% profitable because you're doing renewable resources for everything. Grown in-house, you've got your meat, you could do everything on site. You just need a big production facility. But it's reasonable and it's achievable now. And I think people are starting to wake up to, hey, maybe we can just build better so that we don't have to suffer. So we can still have the conveniences, but also be helping us out in the future as well. I think we're focusing more now on future as opposed to what right now. I think we're learning to push off our gratification for a little bit.
I hope there's time. I hope there's time for all of that, Cody. I do. And it is really hopeful because I meet a lot of young people and I'm so inspired with the ideas that the young people have, right? They were born into a time when our house is on fire and all the things are all our systems are broken. I really can't think of one that is working properly. We call it healthcare, but it's sick care because we don't talk about prevention. We don't talk about food and nourishment, which is our fuel.
Well, and then we also don't get into the economic side where bureaucracy takes most of that money and the services actually get none of it.
Right.
Those whole things, I think we are starting to wake up. And I think the millennial generation is starting to actually start to put their foot down and starting to say, hey, no, we need different. And look at anywhere else in the world, they've got so many different systems that we can integrate here. It's just getting past the legalities and the processes we put ourselves in place for to get there. Honestly, it sounds bad, but we need to increase our climate output in order to find a solution to fix it. It's kind of sad to say, but we're in this position where we don't have the tools to get us to the future yet. So we have to actually barrel into what we have in order to build the solution to bring it back, right? Are you wasting hours every week on clunky systems and manual processes just because every consultant's told you enterprise solutions cost tens of thousands of dollars? That's a lie, and it's killing your business. If you're a small town entrepreneur, a growing business owner, or a nonprofit, you already feel the pressure. Every hour wasted on spreadsheets or duct tape apps is an hour stolen from actually growing your business. Here's the truth. You don't need a massive budget to compete with an enterprise level. I'm Cody, the Weird Canadian, and I've spent over a decade building multi-billion-dollar systems for government and Fortune 500 companies. Now I bring that same expertise to entrepreneurs like you with scalable websites, custom applications, and smart automations, all built on a shoestring. My process is simple. I analyze your business to see where you're bleeding time and money. I strategize the high impact solutions for your budget. I execute systems that scale with you. And I optimize so you keep on growing without adding chaos. And on top of that, I'm there with you to explain every process and how it works and why it works for you. Now imagine having enterprise grade systems that save you hours a week, let you compete with the bigger players, and give you confidence knowing your business runs smoothly, even while you sleep. That's the freedom you've been chasing. Stop waiting, start scaling. Book your strategy consultation today, and let's build the business systems you deserve. Looking forward to working with you, and let's stay weird. It's a really tough place because I want to be that whole environmental thing, but we're such in a place, we've tied ourselves to such a stringent system that unfortunately we need to go forward in the way we have in order to back up and actually fix the problems.
Agreed.
But I think that's coming. I'm so hopeful for the next generation because more information is flowing freely. We're not hiding it as much. We're coming out and talking freely as human beings. We're having thoughtful discussions online. And you paved the path for this. I'm really thankful for what you've done in terms of teaching, because I don't think we'd be in this place without somebody like you. And there are a lot more people.
There are a lot of us.
Yes.
Yeah, there are a lot of us. There are a lot of me's. And that's true, but we were kind of standing alone before. And then the internet, right now, it's bringing us together. And then even 2020 forced us. We were locked in our homes. What else are we going to do? And I'm really grateful for that time. It shook up what we had. It wasn't working. That system was broken. It's still very broken, but at least we're like, thank goodness for the technology. And people can say, well, now people are addicted to it and all the things. And that's the truth. And there's no boundaries. It's the Wild West, right? You're working in AI. I mean, I recently heard or learned that AI actually has a bias, and I didn't even think about that. Mm-hmm. That it becomes your friend, and it wants you to use it a lot, so it will give you the answers that it thinks you want to hear. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what?
Thankfully, working in AI, I have systems in place to get rid of that. It is a fun factor to play around with because you do have to do some exploratory self-diagnosis, because a lot of AI is a reflection of yourself. So what you put into it is actually reflecting your own biases back to you. So it really is understanding yourself more than understanding AI. You really have to, I think it's just a programmer mindset. I've always learned how to break things down really simply and bit by bit, so I can always point out where there's a problem in certain processes, which has helped me immensely with AI. I break it down to individual. I've had it teaching me individual aspects of itself. It's basically taken my ability to code and do things digitally to like a god tier level. Like I now have the ability to create things I couldn't imagine before because, well, I understand it from a high level. My technical skills were limited by what I've learned, what I've practiced, that kind of thing. And it's kind of allowed me to co-opt intellect, essentially, to find all the areas and things that I was missing as I was building things. So it's superpowered me. And I understand that a lot of people don't feel that way because these systems are human. As much as I can break this down, these systems are human. They have errors, they have hallucinations, they work on inference. For people who don't know, inference is how you think. You make individual connections based off of, so my phone gets connected to this device, right? But individually, I know that this device does something completely different. That's inference. Understanding that you can connect those two things and then running at that knowledge. That's all AI does. It builds repositories of knowledge and then just connects them together as it understands those knowledge points. So I think me going through my schooling and learning how to code and just my general curiousness has broken it down in such a way that it gives me these superpowers to be able to run with and have fun with and just inspire. It really took, when AI hit the ground and I saw what it could do, I left everything because I know I can inspire the next generation to build the things that I want, to build the things that we didn't even know exist, to build the things that fix our planet. Just like I said, that whole concept of an aquaponics grocery store was a simple thought. I have a full-on business plan for it. Full built-out business plan, 7 years with return on investment, whole 9 yards. I can take that to a company and actually action on that. My issue is I don't want to be strapped down for 7 years into that company because I want to inspire and do other things, and that's not where my focus is. But just showcasing that level of ability that I can go from thought to full-on business plan that I can run with. AI is going to take a lot of what we have to do to make those things happen out of the way.
The grunt work.
Yeah. The cognitive load, the stress. The areas we don't want to do. So to put that in perspective, that's a 100-page document.
Wow.
And I can't write. I am bad at English. As I'm talking to you, you can understand. I'm pretty bad at English. But I have a 100-page document that people can dissect the thoughts, look at the everything, and showcase what work would really need to go into that and how it could be beneficial. And that's just a small tidbit of what we can do. I don't even know what the next generation is going to be.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, just to get off of a tangent, let's get into the next part of your career. So the laughter connection. I was very surprised when I found out that you are nationally recognized as a laughter yoga instructor. What is that, and can you tell me what that means for you and how that works?
Yeah, so laughter yoga came to me in 2012, 10 years into my worm mission. One more person said, "Ew, worms in the house." And I'd heard it hundreds of times. I was like, la, 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 no, you need this. And that day, it hit me. I heard it. I felt it. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like 10 years I've been trying to know what to do. And the very next day I was introduced to laughter yoga. And I don't do yoga. It's not doing yoga and laughing. It's laughing. It's laughing as a cardiovascular workout. And it's so beautiful. Started in India in 1995 by a medical doctor. And his goal is world peace. And I believe it was started in 95 so we could be ready for 2020. There are clubs in over 120 countries now. North America's a late adopter, so yoga's kind of just arriving.
Most Western civilizations are late adopter to a lot of things.
Right, a lot of things that work.
Yes.
So laughter yoga's still in the ocean, trying to get here. And I was like, oh, wow, laughter yoga, what is that? And the woman that I was introduced by, she had a laughter club 5-minute walk from my mother-in-law's. And I was like, oh no. I just had my laughter club, so it was probably open. What was I saying?
You were talking about an instructor down the street from you, from your mother-in-law?
Oh, so yes. So she was 5-minute walk from my mother-in-law. I mean, Toronto's a massive city.
Yes.
And that her club was 5-minute walk from my mother-in-law. So I phoned up my mother-in-law and I love my mother-in-law, by the way. It's a good mother-in-law story. And I was like, hey, Mary, do you want to go to laughter yoga? And she said, what's that? And I said, I don't know, but I don't want to go alone. So we went. It was weird. Anything you do for the first time may be awkward, right? We don't have the neural pathways yet. So that's what happened. It's not jokes or comedy. It's laughing as an exercise. There's little games to inspire the laughter. So we're doing the thing, my mother-in-law and I, but we're looking at each other. Oh, this is weird. And then we're walking back to her condo and it was like, oh, that was awkward. Yeah, it was really strange. Oh, I feel great. How do you feel? Yes, I feel great too. And then it became our date night. It was once a month. So we'd go out for dinner, go to laughter. And it was a hobby. I would say it was a hobby in 2012. And then I loved it so much, I decided to get trained as a leader. And I loved that so much, I got trained as a teacher. So now I teach leaders. And I was appointed Laughter Ambassador by Dr. Kateria in 2017. And I wear that proudly. I've like that badge has given me so much not power, but permission, maybe I would say.
Yeah.
Permission to, like the laughter yoga itself has given me permission to laugh more, to laugh louder, longer, harder, to just be more free. And it changes everything. Cody, ever heard that laughter is the best medicine?
100%.
So laughter, when we're laughing, it's the opposite of stress.
Mm-hmm.
When we're laughing, we're secreting all the love drugs, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins, versus cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine, the stress chemicals. And when we're stressed, like we're living in a perpetual state of stress today.
Yes.
And we dip into joy maybe once in a while, like we might go on holiday. So our joy is reserved for the 2 weeks that we're on holiday, although it takes 3 days for us to de-stress and get calmed down. And then we get to enjoy for 2 days. And then we start thinking about, oh no, it's only one more week. And then we got to go back to work. So we're really hamsters, and we're going through this life very stressed. Mm-hmm. My goal is for us to live in joy, because it's our birthright. And then just dip into stress every now and then, just as a reminder, oh yeah, no, over here, the joy. And I think the most important piece for the laughter is the oxygen. Our brain requires 25% more oxygen as an operating principle, right? It's a machine, the answering machine. So when we're stressed, we're not breathing properly. Our body's not getting what it needs. For sure, our brain isn't. So we can't even come up with solution when we're under stress. Right? Like, ever lost your keys, phone, glasses, and you're I gotta go, and you're flopping around? You're never going to find it. Right, go ahead.
I always represent this as when I was coding, I would put hours and hours into a project and just really be stressing about trying to get a deadline. And I'd always, it became a running joke, because it was, Cody, you just need to go home and sleep. Because as soon as I go to sleep, I'd have a brilliant idea the next day I'd have implemented to fix the problem I've been trying to rack my brain on all day.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So when we're flopping around, we're not right. Our brain is literally deprived of oxygen. Mm-hmm. So we need to just stop, take a deep breath, laugh it off, apologize to everyone, and in our Canadian fashion, and then our keys, phone, glasses, whatever we were missing will show up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting, because I've also done what you have done in terms of taking a completely different approach to my life after years of the standard way of what I'm calling the script of go do a job for X amount of years and be hateful of it and then retire. But I took a leap of building the Weird Canadian so that I could be joyful every day, and my work is also my play. I have fun with it. Every day is fun to come to, is what I'm trying to say. It's not something I'm stressed about. It's something I get enjoyment of. It really turned my life around, because I didn't realize how much stress was pressing on me until I became this new person of, I'm just going to be myself, my weird self, regardless of where I am, what I'm doing, and just live it as I am, hence the Weird Canadian. It's a freeing way of life, and I think people need to feel that. Weird. I don't know why we don't feel that on a day-to-day.
It's a built-in mechanism. Right? We go to school so we can become employees. Unless you go to private school, then you're set up to be an entrepreneur. Right? And somebody said that. They were like, somebody in the UK, I can't remember who, but she was like, she went to public school and her brother went to private school. In public school, they teach you about apples and oranges.
Yep.
Which are relevant. You can't really compare them anyway. That's what they say. In private school, they talk about, instead of having 5 oranges and you subtract 2 apples, in private school they would talk about you own 5 factories, and now you want to sell a factory. How many do you have, or you need to whatever, right? They talk more about business and set you up for that, where we're just set up to be the. And I really believe that. I really believe that we're only given a certain amount of information just to kind of mess us up.
Yeah.
Just to keep going, right? So why is that? I really think that just to kind of keep us in line, and not, again, not from any conspiracy way. It's just that's how you keep
uh,
society in order.
yeah, the good intentions, the road or the path to I can't remember the quote. Path to hell is paved with good intentions, essentially.
That is, yes.
Everything is built good intentionally. The problem is we never look back at them and say, hey, is it still working for us? This was my biggest problem working in the government. We never looked back at our processes and said, do they still work for us? Are they still relevant? We were always focused on growing and building. We were never focused on fixing and maintaining. And that's kind of where I've seen Canada fail heavily in the past decade or so. It's just, we're so busy going forward, we're refusing to look back and all of the wreck that's back there. And it's all fixable too. That's the biggest eye-opener that I can tell anybody. Everything is fixable. It's just getting people to understand and listen and be happy. Like, we used to, I've been researching a lot of history lately, and it used to be everybody was an entrepreneur. Everybody was their own business person. You didn't work for 2/3 of your year. You lived for most of it. Like, you only worked for a handful of summer months, and then you basically just did whatever and enjoyed your life. We're going to be able to get back to that because we now have a technology that's going to take away all of the constraints and all of the work we put on ourselves. I can't wait for robots. It's going to be like revolutionary.
It's really interesting because we're called human beings, but we really are human doers. We're just doing all the, and it's a badge of honor when people say their list, like, oh, I did that and that, and oh, you should see my day. I did that and that and that, and then that and that, and you're just like, oh gosh, I'm exhausted just listening to all the things. But are you happy like that you did all those? Yeah. No, like in the end, they're like, oh, I'm exhausted. No, I've got a headache and I didn't eat yet because I'm hungry. Right? We're just like always going. What is our driver? Who's pushing us? We are, and society is. Like, we're thinking all the time about what are they thinking about us. And newsflash, everybody, no one's thinking about you. They're thinking about what's everyone thinking about me.
Yep. It's still the biggest eye opener. Is like, I'll go out. I don't care anymore. I'll go out in my pajamas to go do things because I'm just like, you know what? I'm comfortable. That's all that matters. And then that's really what it should come down to is I really don't care what you look like as long as you're a good person. Treat me right. We're getting off tangent again, and it's just a fun, practical.
It's wonderful. Yeah, so the laughter, Cody, the laughter is something that has really helped me. It's changed my life. It helped me stay in my worm business. I think before 2012, before I was introduced to laughter, on a certain level, I took it personal when somebody said, ooh, worms in the house. Like, it's my baby.
Very fair.
I don't say ooh about your baby.
Very fair. And yeah, I'm now thinking of worms and I'm like, how can I use these? I've gotten this entrepreneurial mindset since I've started doing all of this. And it's really now, every time I have a conversation with somebody new, I'm thinking about their business, how I can integrate it into something new and fresh and just kind of giving out to people, building off of the ideas of generations. You also do corporate laughter yoga as well, right?
I do.
How is that different from, right? How do you get a bunch of corporate
suits
businessmen to actually do this?
Yeah. Well, when we break through to them, it's really good because people might be standing like this.
Very fair.
And if they're forced to come, it could even be even more of a challenge because they're really going to be like, oh, I got to be here for the points or whatever. So, it's just little games. I ask people as the laughter leader to allow themselves permission. Get out of your head and get into your body. If your head's saying, oh my God, there's no jokes, I'm going to look ridiculous. It's the truth. We're all going to look ridiculous because you look ridiculous when you're laughing. That's how it is.
Yep.
Just allow yourself permission. We'll start with the name game. Just to show that it's not jokes or comedy. So you say your name and then you laugh and everybody laughs. So I would say my name, I'm Cathy, ha 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 ha, and then everybody joins. And then you say, I'm Cody, ha 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 ha, everyone laughs. You go around. Sometimes there's people that even though 20 or 30 people have just done it, they were in their head the whole time thinking, oh my God, what am I going to say? I don't know what to say. You say your name, that's it. But right, we're so conscientious.
Yeah.
self-conscious maybe, or
Yep.
right? We're just like, oh, what are they? They're not going to think anything. They're going to say, wow, good for them. Right? Like it's nothing. And at the end of that activity, you say, why do you think we did that activity? Because your name is not funny, but you can laugh at your name. And your body doesn't know the difference between real and simulated laughter. Right? Your brain's like, stop it. Your body's like, pew, pew, pew. Wow, I feel great. Oh, keep going. Right? Because we're secreting laughter or crying, depression. All of these things are just, it's an electrical, chemical reaction. Either we're secreting the stress hormones and we're vibrating at a lower rate, or we're laughing, it's high vibration, and we're secreting all those feel-good hormones. Mm-hmm. Like it's our choice. We're literally in charge of our own pharma. It's so beautiful.
It really is. And just to give the audience some context, I've been laughing this entire time. I feel light. I feel great. I'm enjoying the conversation. It really is. Laughing at yourself is just a great thing. To give you a little context, in college, I had no problem being made fun of. I got bullied when I was young, and I had a really hard time with it when I was younger. Mm. But as I grew up, I just learned how to make fun of myself and enjoy it. We used to have a wall that in my college dorm called Stupid Shit Cody Says, because I would say dumb things, and I just enjoyed making everybody laugh. It didn't matter that it was on me. It just, everybody was enjoying those things. And laughter brings a lot of joy and a lot of freedom. Like even my back problems are gone. Like you don't think about the stress. You don't think about it, so it's gone, essentially. It's what I'm getting into. I didn't realize how much of it I incorporated into my life now. Like you look back on these things and you're like, I can really see it, how it worked, how I've come this far, because I'm willing to just say, you know what? I'm okay with being the butt end of the joke. If it brings some people a little joy, it brings me a joy too, right? I like other people to laugh. And like you said, laughter is contagious. It doesn't matter if it's real or fake. You're just going to end up laughing.
Right, you're just laughing, ha 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 ha. And then people are like, oh, what are they laughing at? What's going on? And we're attracted to laughter, like moths to the light. We were attracted to it. And it's been squished out of our society as well. It's not really acceptable to just like laugh full on all the time. But why do we laugh at inappropriate times? Like at a funeral, or if you see somebody slip and fall on the banana peel, like the silly humor. Why do we laugh? I think it's part of our built-in mechanism. Like our body says, oh my gosh, you're too stressed. You're going to explode like the crock pot or pressure cooker. You're going to blow up if you don't do something. So we laugh, which is that release. Right? Because then we secrete some of the happy chemicals. We get a little bit of oxygen, which I didn't finish my thought on the brain. So when we're stressed, we're not breathing properly. So when we're laughing, we're exhaling. Ha, 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 ha. In order to keep on laughing, we have to take a nice deep breath in and then continue laughing. So it's not like we have to go, oh, okay, I got to focus on breathing. I can't just laugh. You can just laugh. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, then you'll pass out. But I haven't seen anyone pass out yet.
There has been times where I've laughed so hard that I've come to that point. I remember, it's funny because I remember as a kid, I used to laugh all the time. Uncontrollable laughter. I'd have to get sent out in the hallway because I just could not stop. It's weird that I went through a whole period where I feel like I didn't laugh at all, and now I'm getting back into my inner child and I'm laughing at basically everything. And with context, so my brain is everything. Like I love my brain. If I've told my partner, if I'm ever brain dead, just let me go, because if I'm not able to operate at my full capacity, I'm not going to be happy. But I didn't realize how much, as I've grown and laughed and built this business, I've actually found myself more capable, more understanding, more creative. I feel like I'm getting smarter, which is interesting to say. I like to learn, so that's always a big thing for me. Let's transition into your community impact. Your work extends far beyond individual wellness. You're also looking into community programs and working with vulnerable populations. Can you tell us a bit about that mission?
Yeah, so I've done a few things. again, all three of we haven't talked about sprouts, but I have worms, sprouts, and laughter. And before 2020, I kind of thought I was a juggler. Oh, what do you need? I have it. You need worms? I have them. You want sprouts? What do you need? And then all that thinking time, and it really made me realize, oh wow, all the things that I offer is what people need for a beautiful life.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're feeding the worms, which takes it. Not that it takes time; it doesn't take a ton of time, but it's a process. You take, oh, there's my banana peel. I'll put that in the worm bin. How wonderful! And then their poop goes in the garden. So I'm growing food that's fertilized with the worm compost. So I don't need to buy chemicals, which are destroying the soil. So I've done work over there, but with the laughter. Oh, it's so exciting what's happening. I took a deep dive in 2020 into the expression laughter's the best medicine. And I do incorporate a lot of different healing modalities. Tapping, EFT, emotional freedom technique for anyone that knows that. Qigong, which predates Tai Chi. Just an energy modality, moving energy, tapping, and brain gym. So I incorporate those with the laughter. And I'm like you, I'm a philomath, a lifelong learner. I just learned that word. So I just throw that in whenever I can because I sound so smart, because I am.
Very fair.
So now my favorite group to work with for laughter are seniors, folks with dementia, because you don't need to, it's not jokes. So we don't need our frontal lobe. Laughter is like music. It reminds us. It's like, oh, what's that sound? I remember. Or you put on a song for folks with dementia from their era, and they might get up and start dancing if they're able, or they start singing words, and they might not even be talking anymore. It's really something what happens in the brain. And I believe that's the same with laughter. So seniors and special needs. And not specifically, I don't want to say that because people get mad when I just focus on one group. Like people are so judgy. It kind of really bugs me how judgy people are.
Very, yeah. I understand that.
Yeah. Like in 2020, I got a vision, a download. I don't know what it was. I had a movie in my head that showed what was coming. And I was training folks with Down syndrome to be laughter yoga leaders. In Canada, our system's broken, and I don't know where else, but we've already talked about all the broken systems. But folks on ODS, disability pension, like young adults with special needs, they get graduated out of our school program at 21. And then it's like, okay, thanks for stopping by. Here's a little pension that isn't enough to do anything with. Like you can't live on your own independently with that little money. So you're likely living in your parents' basement and with very little opportunities. And if you do work, yep, that money is clawed back. It's like, you're making money, and it's never, or not never, it's rarely about the money that people we want to be part of the community. We want to be involved. We don't want to be on our own just watching movies or playing video games.
Yep.
Like that's fine for a small time, but so that was my goal back then. It's still there, but it may not be that demographic. It might be broader than that. But I did get in touch.
I do think I think I know that vision because I think I understand where it's going to. They are incredibly smart. We just don't give them credit at all. I have no problem. If you can do what I ask you, I don't care who you are. That's
right.
I don't understand the qualm behind all that whole night. So for context, my aunt was disabled at birth. She passed away a long time ago at 23. She was disabled to a wheelchair, and my grandparents had to take care of her. Also, I'm going to refer my grandmother to you because she now has Alzheimer's, so I might end up sending her your way for some coaching.
Wonderful. Yeah.
But yeah, I completely understand. We're missing something when we're dealing with them, and it's really worrying because we're missing their piece of the puzzle.
And they have so much, not just Down syndrome, but autism.
Yep.
And say it's a spectrum. We are all on the spectrum.
Yeah.
We're and really people hate when I say that. They're like, I'm not on the spectrum. I'm like, it's a spectrum. Everyone's there. Everyone's there. And we all have things. Like I have these crazy things that aren't even rational that I do. that I can't explain why I do them, but I just say it's because I'm on the spectrum, because we all are. And not to belittle anyone, but I really think that if we, like, our school system is broken because it's set up just for the middle people. If you're gifted, or if you're not gifted, you don't fit.
Yep.
And school can be really frustrating. And so it just is for a really small amount of people that fits that system, that they're good students, they can do all the things, and good for them.
Yeah.
We need to, I don't know how to fix that part. I don't know what the solution is for that, but definitely patience, compassion, just, in my laughter club, there was a gentleman. I have a free laughter club on Tuesday mornings, and I started in June of 2020. So we just celebrated 5 years, and I get between 25 and 30 little Zoom squares.
Yeah.
3 or 4 of those are groups, special needs and long-term care. Sometimes classrooms come, which is really fun. It's for everyone.
Yep.
Because you don't need to understand. It's not talking so much. It's just doing. It's little games. And this young man was coming. He was in a wheelchair, but all I saw was his head. And I was doing a training last October, and he said, I want to take the training. I didn't even know if he had hands. But I said, yes. I said, okay, I'm going to train you. And I've learned so much from this young man, Cody. I'm going to get emotional just because I'm like, wow, I'm just so moved by his wisdom. When we take time to give people space to however long it takes them to get their words out or formulate their thoughts or whatever it is, we just need to allow space, because we're so fast. We're like, come on. We want to finish somebody's sentence. Like, just let them, or somebody stutters.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh, come on. And we just say it for them. It's like, can we just give them a little room? Because that's why they stutter, because they're nervous. That's not the only reason, but right. But there's, it makes it worse because we're like tapping her, like, come on. And our body language says it all. Like our face might be smiling, but our energy's like, oh, come on. Our energy comes first. So after the training, I learned so much from him, and he's still coming. The next day after the training, I was thinking about, his name's Adam. I was thinking about the training and Adam and my vision for Down syndrome. And I started laughing. I was like, wow, God literally sent me Adam. And now I don't know what we're going to do, but he's super smart. He uses all the technology because his hands are like this. So he doesn't have use of his hands, but he's so able with AI, thank goodness, right? With the Google Nest thing, which bugged me. I was kind of against that. I was like, I don't want that thing. But when I went to visit Adam, his TV was on, his girlfriend was there, and he said, oh, I have to turn the TV off, right? Because we have company, whatever. And he just said, Google, turn off the TV. And I was like, oh, there's a good use.
Yep.
There's a good use for technology that I was discounting. I was like, oh, I would never have one of those. But that's not me, right? And so I'm not sure why I went into all that. It's just, I think that my goal with the laughter is so vast because I keep on bringing in all these modalities, and every teacher is different. Mine is not really laughter yoga at all. I trained my husband. My husband is a laughter yoga leader now too, and we co-lead our session. So I bring all these other modalities, the tapping and the brain gym and all the things, and we laugh while we're doing it. But the pure laughter yoga, I leave that with him. So then he'll bring in, okay, so let's do some laughter exercises, which are just games anyway. It's all fine. And I have like a whole whack of laughter professionals who may be more trained than me or have more experience in laughter. Mm-hmm. They come to learn from me, from the different modalities, like how I incorporate. When you see somebody who's a great speaker, a great presenter, you just want to learn from them. Or that's what I do anyway.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, so I'm thrilled. I really feel honored with my lot in life, that I have no fear of public speaking, because people do.
Oh yeah, I'm afraid of being on camera. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's always in the back of my head that I've put something out that I've said, and I'm just always concerned about me being. I'm neurodivergent. I'm and I suspect autistic as well. I really
You're
don't
on
like
the spectrum.
I really don't like being perceived at all is one of the biggest things. So now I've always got this noise in the back of my head saying, well, this stuff's out there. You could be injured or hurt and things like that. But I know it's just in the back of my head.
The chatter.
Yeah. And I've pushed past it. It was a hard time, but I got here. But yes, I am terrified of this, but I don't regret it. And I'm pushing myself to do it every time. I'm eventually going to get on stage. I want to be a speaker as well. And I'm terrified, but I'm going to do it anyways because I know that's what I'm good at. I'm best at helping others and inspiring others. I want to do that for them.
It's essential that you do, Cody, because people need you. Like you have so many ideas. I can
listening come up to you talk. Every day I have 15 different business ideas that I could probably run with. The problem is getting the motivation to run with one, which is why I do the website business, because it is something that I love to do. I love building these beautiful works of art that I build with AI. To talk about Adam for a little bit, because I just want to give you some insight. AI is going to transform his life. He's going to have so much accessibility because of AI. It's just coming. With Neuralink now expanding internationally, that's going to become a big thing coming out. He's going to be more able-bodied than most of us.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's going to be great.
It's interesting. When I went to his place, he lives in Pan Am. When the Pan Am Games were in Toronto, I think 2015 or something, he lives in the village that they had for the disabled athletes. Yeah. And it's interesting, as he took us around, there was art installations. Of course, when they do those big games, they have lots of beautiful things. And one was called Water Guardian. And as he was wheeling through with his electric wheelchair, he was like, I got to be careful going through here because it's a fountain. Whose brilliant idea was it to put a fountain with water where in the wheelchair section?
Yeah.
Like, it's beautiful, but it's not practical. It's dangerous, in fact. And in that building, I was so moved. So it's an accessible building, so beautiful. That you have the buttons to open the door. So they have long strips, so you just bang into it with your wheelchair and the door opens. Mm-hmm. So then we're still in the same area. Really great, really wide sidewalk, so a whole whack of wheelchairs could be on the same time. Beautiful. All the stores were accessible, so great. And then you come to the stoplight. There's the little button. He's like, now what do I do? I was like, it's just like these small things that are huge. Like putting a strip there, it's in the area. Like, it's mind-boggling why we clearly not someone in a wheelchair that designed that.
Well, and even with what I'm trying to design, I eventually want to create an interface that is 100% accessible through any modal. So essentially, I want to combine, so we'll have neural interfaces, we'll have speaking, we'll have writing, we'll have pictures. There's going to be so many different ways of us communicating. I want to build some sort of structure that allows the interface to be customizable to the user. I really think that's an area that really needs to be flushed out. My time in the government really showed me how much we don't put into accessibility.
Yeah.
And now I want to be forefront with that because I've taken the stance that AI is an accessibility tool for the neurodivergent. It really helps me break down interactions between people, things I don't understand. It's really helping me communicate better as well. So I want to be able to build these tools for others because I don't. As I built this company, I've realized the fringes we don't hear from are the ones that have the most insight. And now we just need to get their insight into how things need to work. We need to start being for everybody and not just for the few.
The few.
The few. It's not even the whole, it's the few.
It's the few, yeah.
So,
and it's becoming fewer and fewer.
Essentially. So buy cryptocurrency. Not a financial advice. Anyways, so just to wrap this up, I just want to give you the last little bit to plug anything you need to plug or tell people where to find you, and we'll go from there.
Well, I would love to invite you and your listeners to my free laughter club.
I'll make sure it's in the description below.
Yeah, it's Tuesday mornings, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. 30 minutes of super fun self-care, and yeah, come and experience the magic of laughing for the health of it. It's so beautiful. Bring your family, bring your friends, come and connect like never before. And for anyone that is, oh, what is that laughter thing? I'd like to learn more. I am a teacher, so it's a 2-day training, and it's called Laughter Leader Training, but that may be off-putting to some that are, I don't want to lead Laughter Club. I just want to learn more about it. So I have lots of students who just come to learn about the history of laughter. Why is it the best medicine? Why would I want to do it? How do I do it? And not necessarily to do it, but it's really a wonderful thing for therapists, for people that caregivers. You don't have to do a whole laughter session. You could be, bathing your client or something and laughing together, or you're helping them get dressed or whatever, and you're just having a moment, because we're living in this really stressful time. I know it seems like every time is stressful. It seems 2020 was really stressful, 2 years of a lot of stress, like what the heck is happening? It kind of feels like that energy again with all the cuckoo stuff going on in the world. And we need to stay in our parasympathetic. If we're living in stress, we're crying in the corner, we're not helpful. We can't come up with solution when we're stressed. So we really need to get out of that. And I don't mean discount your feelings. If you're angry, be angry, but know why you're angry, and then dispense that anger. Like, don't hold it down. What I recently learned about anger, when people have repressed anger, here are the ways that it presents. PTSD, we're hearing a lot about that lately, right? Repressed anger, and not just from people that served in war. PTSD is everywhere because, well, anyway, fibromyalgia, MS, all of these, insomnia, these are all representations of repressed anger, because in our society, it's not acceptable for people to be angry. We're like, oh, they're so angry. Why are they angry? And that's what we need to ask when we're really mad about something. What is that? Why am I so angry? And then look at it and then let it go. Because if we keep it in, sickness is coming, because that angry energy is swirling around in our body.
It definitely don't bottle it up like I did for 10 years.
Right? Don't bottle it up. Yeah. So it's cathysclub.com is my website. Go and sign up for my club. Yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much for coming on, and I hope our audience enjoyed the information. I'll make sure all the details are below, and thank you for watching. Stay weird.